Hey basketball coaches, players, fans of Mikey Williams. Today I am going to be breaking down Mikey Williams' shooting form, all of the mechanics, and of course what he does really great, but also some of the things that he could improve on and what you may need to improve on as well. Now, Mikey Williams is a very good basketball player and a very good shooter, so there's not too much that goes wrong with his shot. He actually has a pretty good shot. Now let's get down to it. He comes off of a dribble handoff. Now, one of the things that I noticed, not just with this shot, but with a lot of shots from different younger players, is that their knees come together. So there is a saying that sometimes when players shoot like this, they tend to have knee injuries. I'm not too sure how accurate that could be, but that is something that a lot of coaches do say. Now, what I personally say about knees that come together like Mikey Williams does is that a lot of players do that because they're younger and they cannot shoot from distance. This is something that he does anywhere from the mid-range and out, so it's not something that he does when he's very far out. The reason why a lot of younger players go and shoot like this is because their legs are not fully developed. They're not strong enough to shoot from farther away just yet. And the outer part of their legs, there's essentially two parts of the muscle when it comes to your front of your legs. And there's the outer muscle, which is always stronger. Now, a lot of coaches will train the inside muscles of those legs to allow you to shoot farther, and a lot of coaches don't do that, and a lot of players don't do that either. So basically, if you're stuck doing this exact same thing, what you need to do is a wall set, which means that you've got your back against the wall and you're sitting with your legs at a 90-degree angle. You also have a basketball in between your knees, and this will allow you to actually work on those muscles on the inside of your leg and allow you to shoot from farther away, but also help you jump higher as well. Now, I'm not saying that Mikey Williams by any means cannot jump very high. He can definitely jump very high. However, this is something that transfers over from when you were a little kid, and players don't usually move out of their shooting form from when they were younger. So this is the first thing that I would actually change. However, when he landed on his toes, he didn't go down to his heels, he stayed on his toes. So that is 100% perfect. We also see from this shooting form that he's very similar but opposite to me. And what I mean by that is when he shoots, a lot of his power comes from one leg. This leg isn't doing all that much, it's all this leg. And if you check out his balance, this leg is over on this side of his body. This leg here is straight down. His body is here, and his arm goes out like this. So what does this tell me? It means that even when he goes up for his shot, that's his center of gravity right there. His center of gravity is not down the middle of his body, which means that he's not going to be a very balanced shot. And because of that, this could end up going left when he's shooting, especially if he's shooting on the move. Now, in this case, he's shooting straight up, but if he was to come off of a screen and he was still moving when he shoots, then he would have a high possibility of drifting towards this side. You generally want to have the center of gravity or center of mass going down the middle of your body. That will allow you to have a more straighter, consistent shot. Now for me, I put a lot of my weight on my left leg, and that's because I've had 2 knee surgeries on my right side, and I'm trying to fix that. It is something that I am working on once again. Now when he goes up for his shot, he has quite a bit of movement when it comes to his upper body. So he does have his shoulders pretty well square towards the basket, so that's an A+ there. When he goes and puts the ball up the middle of his body, what that's basically doing is now adding not just a hinge to his shoulder, but also a hinge going this way, which means that there's extra movement in that shot, which means that there's a higher probability of there to be inconsistencies in the future. When he does shoot, his elbow is flared out just a bit and his left shoulder is back just a bit, which changes again mainly because of his leg being so far out to the side and back. However, the reason why he can't be as consistent as he has been so far is because when his left side moves back, that elbow flares out, which then allows that to straighten out his shot. One thing compensates for the other, which allows you to have a straight shot. Not all players will be able to have a straight shot because their bodies or their minds won't tell the other side of their body to compensate for when that happens. So let's keep that in mind. However, when he's shooting, let's check out his wrist. This is another reason why it's a straight shot. His wrist is straight down. I'm not too sure if I can zoom in very well with this shot, but as we can see, his wrist flattens out and it allows him, and he's got space between his palm and the ball, which allows for him to control that ball. If you have that ball in your palm, which a lot of players do shoot with a palm on the ball, it allows for your shot to be a bit off if you just slightly get knocked by the defensive player, whether it be a foul or not. And with your palm off the ball and your fingertips on the ball, it allows you to have more control. Now we're going to move up, and from there, I can't really see it in this video, but when he shoots, he gets 3 fingers on that ball. Those top 3 fingers end up being on ball. And with 3 fingers on the ball, that tells me that it's fine because generally speaking, that's going to come off his middle finger. And because of that, it's going to be a pretty straight shot. Now, taking a clip from this angle, we can actually see that it comes off all 3 fingers at once. And this shot is actually just a bit short and to the right, which makes me really see that he actually misses right mainly because of his shoulder or his elbow there, because the shoulder is not as far back as it was in the previous clip. And we still see him landing on his toes, going straight up. And the other thing that we see in his shot is he doesn't pause anywhere along his shot, which allows him to transfer that power from that quick hop that he just had into his shot, so that he's not able, or what I should say is not able to use as much power in his shot. But here he definitely needed to use more legs because he was short. Now, Mikey Williams, I hope he does extremely well. He broke a record that was against my high school team, and I'm from Canada. So when we went down to the States many years ago, back when I was a grade 10 player and we were playing senior teams down there, and we played down in San Diego against a player called Tyrone Shelley, and he destroyed us with 76 points himself. Mikey Williams broke that record, so congratulations to Mikey Williams. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you're making these mistakes, definitely something to think about changing. However, Mikey Williams is still a good shooter, but those are some of the things that I would look at changing to just have a more consistent shot. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.